Pete Davidson stand-up show that wasn't.
A standoff show.
Turned into a standoff show. And Pete actually walked out and never got on stage. This was supposed to go down Monday night at a club in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's called the Stress Factory, Vinnie Brand's Stress Factory. And Pete was the headliner, but didn't go on stage. In fact, he left, and this is the first that people knew, at least from Pete's side, what happened. So he walks away from the club, gets in his car, and then he posts this.
Hey guys in Connecticut, I'm sorry that we had to leave the show before I got to go on. The owner, Vinnie Brand, disrespected me and did something that I told him not to do, and I can't, perform under those circumstances. However, everybody who got tickets to that show, I am doing a free show for you guys. We'll figure out where it's going to be in the next week, and we'll get it all sorted out.
So the owner plays what Pete just recorded on the big screen at the club?
Right, because Pete, so he plays the video on the screen.
Now listen to this.
And this is the owner, Vinnie Brand. Now listen to the crowd.
They went after Pete.
Yeah.
So we talked to one of the guys who was at the club.
Yeah.
And what he said was, I guess that Pete had asked the owner, I don't want to be heckled with Ariana's name, with Kate Beckinsale's name.
And if anybody does, I want them thrown out of the club.
He told the security guy told the owner basically, yeah, exactly. If any of the people made any jokes, he wanted them thrown out. So yeah. So
Vinnie Brand, who's the guy you saw on stage,
goes on stage
before Pete and says, look, it makes that clear to everyone. If you yell out Kate or Ariana, or you heckle them anyway, you are going to be thrown out. And that alone incensed Pete.
So the owner's thinking, I'm trying to help Pete, presumably, by telling everybody, don't heckle him with these names. Pete is thinking, I didn't want my those names mentioned, and he mentioned them to the audience.
One, you mentioned their names, and I didn't want you to mention their names. And two, you're kind of killing the energy in the club by telling people, giving them a list of things they can't do. And Pete said, you know what, screw you, and walked, and never got on stage. And apparently, then the owner gets back on stage, Vinnie Brand, and then just went off on Pete.
Pete Davidson, I didn't disrespect you. Your security guy told me to say what I said. And if you got a bad security guy, you should have fired your security guy. You everybody here, Pete. And one nice time, Pete, when you were a young comic, you came, you hung out at my club in New Brunswick. I treated you well. When you were having trouble last year, I texted you multiple times. Pete, if you need to talk to anybody, reach out. I tried so hard. And I went back in that room and I asked you what you wanted. And you did not. You were not disrespected.
Yeah. Vinnie Brand wasn't exactly funny. He wasn't trying to be. He was just really angry. So
don't you think he's kind of in the wrong? Because, I mean, by getting out there and saying that, you're inciting people to do exactly what Pete said he didn't want to happen.
I would understand where Vinnie felt like he was doing something to help things along, but I do see why Pete felt he was crushing the energy.
You could see it from both sides, but then the issue is, did Pete understand that, did Pete think that Vinnie was really disrespecting him, or maybe misguidedly trying to protect him?
Right.
And then
obviously he felt it was disrespect.
Right.
Vinnie didn't see it that way, so.
Hi, Patrick in New Hampshire. I mean, the whole thing is kind of confusing, right? If people are going to get tossed anyway, if they mention Kate Beckinsale or Ariana Grande, why would he have to go on and say, don't say these names if it's going to pluck people from the crowd anyway? But, in the end, who wouldn't want their name to be associated with Kate Beckinsale?
See, a lot of people in the office said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.